Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Sidekick Tarot. I'm Ryan, and thank you for being here. This is going to be a general reading, so everything may not resonate. Take what does and leave the rest. Or if you're interested in more tarot readings after this, go ahead and check out my wife's channel at Val53 Tarot, which is a review as well. Thank you. I'll be starting by pulling your current or overall energy, and then we'll be going into clarifiers. Okay, I'll get the cards out first, and then I'll begin. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. Okay, there you are, Virgo. Your energy is showing up. I'm a little curious as to what's going on. Just based off of, what you are showing me. Something's clearly going on. Oh yeah, something's going on. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I kind of want to shift some things around here a little bit first. Let's see what's going on. Even though I see what's going on, I'm also curious as to what's going on beneath the surface. Okay, Virgo, jumping into this because I'm a little bit curious. I'm very curious. I see what you're doing and I see how you're moving, how you're operating. A little curious as to why, because jumping immediately into this, what you're showing me, whether it's regarding the situation, the circumstances, there is unfortunately this energy of finding it very difficult to kind of trust yourself or listen to your intuition. Kind of hear your instincts with what they're kind of telling you or where they're trying to guide you. I do see it is possibly regarding some type of endeavor though, because whatever this is, you may feel a little bit kind of closed off or reserved, but definitely wanting to stay dedicated to something here, which you are putting in quite a bit of work and effort into and towards. It could be about the endeavor. It could be about something or someone. Not too sure exactly, but there is this energy of you're working on it. You're putting in all this effort. It almost feels as if things are semi-clear, but not too fully 100% clear. It is causing quite a bit of difficulty with clarity when it comes to trusting your intuition, as well as having your mind and your, let's just say, analytical side line up with that intuition. One thing is for sure though, business and finances, you are showing up successful in some type of status, wanting to work on something or work towards something. Again, I feel like there's a couple things going on here, but with this thought process of yours, you're kind of just choosing to wait things out. That being said, this is where some type of connection between you and someone shows up. At the same time, I'm a little curious with the way this starts, whether or not this connection or whether or not this endeavor is kind of destined or fated for you, because, well, the Wheel of Fortune shows up. But when it shows up in such a way where you're not trusting yourself, Virgo, that kind of leaves me with the question of, if you're not trusting yourself, is this connection true and genuine and authentic? Let's go ahead and jump into clarifiers and see what some of this could be. If you're kind of telling me that you're willing to put you aside for the sake of a connection, that's a little bit like self-sacrifice for the sake of, like, well, I'm going to kind of not listen to my intuition and kind of fill out what it's telling me or trying to show me for the sake of kind of keeping the peace or having things move forward. Yeah, it may be just an overall energy of you're just not too sure what your intuition is kind of telling you. Fascinating. You're kind of saying that you're flying blind right now with whatever this is, but you definitely want things to move forward. Okay. So intuitively, you're just not too sure where you're at. Huh. But you want to make some type of move. Yeah, geez. Difficult. Now, again, I'm kind of questioning and wondering how you're going to move because of this. Um, it's like trying to tap into yourself deeper or tap into your, let's just say, your gifts or your discernment or your judgment and make that decision. But if you can't do that, or if you're finding it difficult to, it's also going to make that next move or next step that much more difficult. And you're kind of rushing in here without any type of guidance or awareness, even from yourself. It's kind of like saying, Virgo, if you're going to go do this, what's your intuition saying? Well, I don't know. I didn't quite ask. I just kind of went forward, and maybe my intuition will kick in later and kind of say something later or along the way. I don't know here. Yeah. Geez. A lot of work and effort, but you're kind of just like, okay, well, then you kind of just stop and pause, and you're wondering and waiting, like, okay, well, how are things going? You're kind of observing right now and thinking about what your next thing is going to be. The sun. Whew. Yeah. Goodness, that makes sense. You're definitely showing me that something feels like a gloomy, cloudy day. Something feels like a gloomy, cloudy day, but it's more so from a perspective. It's kind of like saying, if something's not clear to me mentally or analytically, then I'm kind of like going through the fog here, searching for the sunlight, literally looking for the sun, looking for the light, but more so looking for your own personal happiness. Like I just said, Virgo, through the fog, looking for your own happiness. And the fog shows up. The fog rolls in. Whether this is a financial wondering or you just kind of trying to figure out like what's going to work for you, I don't know. Because again, I'm kind of wondering about that intuition part. Just a little bit. And there's the devil coming out after that. And that's what I'm talking about. If you've kind of silenced or hushed that inner voice, it's going to make things that much more difficult. And then this voice up here is going to get that much louder. And it's going to say like, well, I can't hear anything down here in my intuition. So this voice is going to kick up and make things a little bit more rigid. That is for sure. Rigid. Whatever this is you're waiting on for, Virgo, I feel like it is some type of connection, unfortunately. But again, that devil energy is showing up. So whether it's attraction, whether it's temptation, whether it's whatever, again, it's kind of like saying, Virgo, do you know better? Do you know better? Would your intuition kind of agree with what you're doing or how the situation is going, or would it not? Maybe you're just one of those Virgos that's like, you know what? Shh, I want to kind of just find out myself. There's that as well. Okay, so regarding the connection between the two of you, I kind of feel like this is what you're wanting to work on and work towards. But again, you're just not too sure exactly where the two of you are headed. And that's kind of fascinating. You're looking at this as like it's some type of investment to be worked on or worked upon. I'm not really seeing too much energy here of love, even though there is some type of genuine connection here. But the way that it leads up to this connection, Virgo, is kind of like saying the attraction or the temptation is what you're bringing first to the table instead of the love or the connection. And that's where, even though the connection might be there in place, just the way you're approaching and then waiting for this connection to kind of turn out, it's definitely from that mindset of, are you listening to yourself? You're showing me that you're kind of using, you're kind of showing me that you're using like appearances and your confidence and your smarts, your intellect. Nothing wrong with that, of course, again, but at the end of this, like I said, Virgo, with things changing the way that they are, it's definitely leaving your emotions kind of up in the air, and you're just like, I don't know whether or not I'm happy, whether I'm bored, whether I'm content, whether or not I really want this, whether I don't want this. And that right there is exactly what I'm talking about with the start of this, with the lovers on top of the deck, Virgo. What is your intuition saying? Because I feel like it is definitely trying to grab your attention, if not kind of hey, speak a little bit louder. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, we do have, as I showed you, Capricorn, Leo, Pisces, and Gemini on top of the deck. Goodbye.